Hi, I'm Mark and welcome to Little Known Stocks, the show where I try to prove that being boring and doing your research will make you money. Now today I'm going to be talking about crypto exchanges and I'm going to go through Coinbase, Voyager and Bigg digital assets. I'm going to talk about them as a collective and explain why I think now is the perfect time to buy. But then I'm going to do a bit of an analysis and more of a breakdown on Voyager and Bigg Digital and I'm going to go into some modeling. But then I'm going to talk about their earnings, etc., and what's happened over the past couple of months and why I think now is the best time and the best value that they've ever been. Before I get started, if I could ask, if you like the video, please give a like and consider a subscribe. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. So let's talk about the stocks. Coinbase first. At or near its lows at the moment. It is slightly up on the day, but it's basically since its IPO been landsliding down. It's plateaued and it should be in a more stable place now around that $59 billion mark. So it's massive still as a stock, particularly in the crypto space compared to Voyager and Bigg Digital, which we'll look at in a minute. But down significantly. It IPO'd at around 80 billion, so down significantly from its high. If we look at Voyager, for some reason the Yahoo Finance graph doesn't work here, so let's look at Google. If you bought last year, well done, because you've potentially 15-20x'd your money, so very well done. But relatively in the last year, since year to date, it's come down significantly, particularly from April where it reached a high of $36. It's now floating around 21.25. $3 billion market cap, so much smaller than Coinbase. And then if we go to Bigg digital assets, my favorite, up 10% on the day, which is really a really big move, but still down significantly from its highs. It was at 376, and I think this is wrong because I remember it being in the $4 at some point, perhaps intraday, but certainly down very significantly. If you got in early on this one, you've potentially 3x'd your return, so still early days for this one. But certainly at $242 million, I think a steal on this one at the moment as well. So with prices for the exchanges now plummeting, why is now the perfect time to buy? Well, not only is the price low, great, but not only that, but people are shedding their shares because crypto is falling. And what do we know happens when crypto falls? Well, volume goes up. This is a chart of the volume. Intraday and across the last year, volume has just been steadily rising and May was fantastic for volume. Volumes are at an all-time high and really stable actually in terms of the amount of volume traded. So these exchanges are taking a certain proportion of every transaction made, which means whether crypto is going up or down, they're making more and more money because of this volume. So the second thing is, yes, the market cap is going up, but if you're an investor and you're investing in Bitcoin, for example, well, recently you've actually seen that Bitcoin's lost a bit of market share, and you can see here Bitcoin by far the major crypto asset, but actually it's dipped recently and other cryptocurrencies have started to take a bit of that market dominance. They're nowhere near Bitcoin yet, but they're starting to approach it. And really, if you're in an exchange that deals with all of these cryptocurrencies, it doesn't matter what's happening to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Tron, Doge, whatever it is. They're all the currencies I used to trade years and years ago, but it doesn't matter what it is, they're going to be making money. So really, being an exchange is another way to protect yourself versus volatility in particular cryptos. Now lastly, Tether. Now, a lot of crypto enthusiasts will be seeing the market dip and they'll be moving their money from Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. to Tether. Now, what Tether does is it does what it sounds like. It tethers itself to the dollar. So you buy Tether, you won't lose or gain any money. You will just stay in line with the dollar, and it stops you having to move your money out of crypto and into a traditional fiat currency or bank account. You get to retain it in crypto but with zero risk essentially. And look at what's happened to the volume recently. Tether is the highest volume crypto, which means that people are de-risking. It's more than, well, it's basically double the volume of Bitcoin, which is really huge. So people are really hedging, they're waiting, they're looking at the market, seeing what's happening in this dip. But what happens on an exchange? Well, you can go onto Netcoins, which is Bigg Digital Assets crypto exchange, and you can buy Tether. And guess who makes money out of that? Bigg Digital Assets. It will be the same for Voyager and Coinbase. They're making money whether you're holding your money safe or whether you're risking it in a crypto asset. So I really do think it is a double whammy. I think you're experiencing fear, uncertainty and doubt. You've got people like Trump coming in saying that crypto is a scam, which I don't necessarily disagree with, to be perfectly honest. But when you look at Bigg Digital Assets, down 62% from its highs today. It was down 70% a couple of days ago. Really, that's a massive drop, and I might consider buying even if volumes were down. But as we know, they're going to be making more money as a result of the volatility in the market, which makes it doubly impressive. And really, I've strengthened my position quite a bit in this stock. And look, it's all relative. I mean, the market cap for crypto is, okay, it was at $2.5 trillion, but it's at $1.6 trillion, up 10, 15 times from where it was a year ago. So anyone who wasn't expecting a pullback is really kidding themselves. And this level is still a really, really strong level. If we were to retain this level, it looks like we've reached a bottom, although it's early days. That will be still a very, very impressive year for crypto. And, crypto has now entered the public consciousness more than ever. My mum knows about crypto. So, if it continues that way and if more and more people get involved, this volume will spring back and we'll continue to see growth. So let's look at the revenues and some of the numbers behind these companies. And I'll start with Voyager, but really both Voyager and Bigg Digital Assets, I'm going to go into a bit of detail in. I'm not going to do the same with Coinbase because we don't have the same history on them. And they are a much, much larger market cap. So I personally think they have much less room to grow. So we'll start with Voyager anyway. Now, I have actually considered in the past doing a video specifically on Voyager and doing a much more in-depth analysis. If you would like that, please let me know in the comments below. I think there is a lot of information out there already, so I haven't done it. But if you would like that, I will consider doing it in the next few days. If this company was a traditional company, this would be an absolute no-brainer. People would be flooding into this stock at this point. But because it's crypto, there's fear, uncertainty and doubt in the market. They're really, really being hard hit despite fantastic results. So $60 million of revenue in their Q3. $30 million of operating profit, so 50% operating profit. This is their first profitable quarter, up over 16% from fiscal second quarter, up over 16 times from their second quarter. That is absolutely incredible. They're operating $5 billion US in trades. These guys are becoming significant players already. They've got some really nice features. They've got the loaning out your crypto for interest, essentially. They've got some really, really nice things, and they're becoming quite a big player in the market. Now, I couldn't quite do the modeling I wanted to on Voyager because they don't have as much information. They're reporting quarterly. Bigg Digital Assets are a different thing entirely. They report almost every month some sort of statistic on revenue. If we look at this company, this is a model that I've done before, but I've added to it. Their revenue just continues to grow and grow, and really I've assumed some revenue growth numbers here. We're looking at the moment a price to sales ratio of between 5 and 2. I'm going to say it's going to be around 3.5 for the forward price to sales ratio, which is really, really strong. They've grown again, and they've raised nearly 2 million in revenue just in May, and month on month. So when people hear 26% growth, month on month, that adds up. Not only that, but just as a reminder, they have said that they're profitable. So, a small company of 30 people driving this amount of revenue so early in their growth is really phenomenal. And not only that, but I did some backwards working again. It might be wrong, but I found an article where they reported that they had 900 plus registrations in a day in April. So that's the only information I can find with actual numbers of users. But I've worked that back. I think they're at less than 100,000 users at the moment. So to bring in 2 million of revenue per month, 26% growth in terms of their revenue month on month. With less than 100,000 users, I think these guys have huge scope to grow, huge scope. So I think they're going to continue to do so for quite some time as crypto either, remains where it is or becomes much more popular. So really, I just think these are such good value. I think the fear and uncertainty and doubt in the market is completely unjustified. Really, the likes of Elon Musk, Donald Trump shouldn't be getting involved in these sorts of discussions, and they shouldn't be driving the market down in the way they are. But to be honest, if you're an investor in one of these companies, you should be really happy for this volatility, because it's just driving volume. It's driving more money to the bottom line of these companies. While others see fear, uncertainty and doubt in the crypto exchanges, I see just massive opportunity. I've increased my position quite a bit on big digital assets. I'm invested in Voyager for the first time. I'm kind of spreading between the two of them now to mitigate my risk. So I actually like big digital a little bit more, quite a bit more actually than Voyager. One, because they've still got so much more room to grow and there's so much good news coming down the pipeline. But two, I do think this blockchain intelligence group, which is the other half of the business, although they're bringing in smallish contracts, they've just secured another contract for $133,000. These are going to add up. I think this is going to be the bigger part of the business, if I'm honest, going forward. If you don't know what it is, basically they do crypto investigations and crypto credit scores, etc. So I think companies are going to rely more and more on this in years to come, and I see this being a really big win and standout. But I don't want to go on too much about it because I've done other videos on it before. I'll link them in the description if you want to check them out. Otherwise, that's all I've got time for. If you did like the video, please give a thumbs up and consider subscribing. If not, have a great day.